Hey YouTube, Darren here. Just kind of an update as to what all's going on, and want to give some shout outs to some people that have subscribed. I'll flip you around here real quick. Daniel Lawton, thanks for subscribing, man. I'm sorry I forgot about you or didn't get your name or something, but thanks for subscribing, man. Walter 1987-23, thanks for subscribing, man. Whitetail Woods 1, thanks for subscribing. And as always, go to Facebook and join up at Southern Off-Road Mowers and take a look and see what's going on there. And we're gonna take a look at Andy's mower. Got a little bit more done and got some ideas, and we'll take a look at it. More to come. This is that Murray Ultra, and so far what I've done, I've sprayed all the bolts on the transaxle, and I've gotten the tires and the rims off of the axle. These things are those big tires. Just looking at it, I'm just always amazed at some of the stuff that comes on here. The good stuff. It's 23 by 9.5 by 12 factory tire. That's really good. It's a big axle. I want to say it's got like the 1-inch shaft. So it's pretty beefy. In just a little bit we're going to go ahead and crack the bolts and see if they've loosened enough from the spray lube that we can get them off easily. Got the carburetor, the gas tank draining, as well as the fuel line. Carburetor shouldn't be too bad, but I'm going to go through it again. I went through it and cleaned it up for him about 3 months ago, but it's been sitting out in his yard, so I will probably go through it again just to make sure. It's an opposed Briggs 18 horsepower twin cylinder. It runs really good. I'll see if I can get it to bump over in just a second, maybe throw a little fuel in it, see if we can get it to crank and run. More to come. Okay guys, well, that was a no-go. That thing sucked the jump box completely down. I just charged up the jump box. So I've got the battery for this one on a charge, but it's going to be a couple of hours before I can get a good charge into it to charge it with a battery. And I've already got the tires off, so I'm not going to move it to get a car to jump it off. So we'll have to wait on that. I'm probably going to go ahead and see if I can't get the bolts broken on this thing, and we're going to see how we do. Now, one thing I do want to say before we get started taking this transmission out, let's go ahead and pick a spot on the transmission, on the shifter as well, and we're going to leave it in that one gear, and we're not going to shift it. We're not going to change anything on this. It's going to make it a whole lot easier going in. I usually either do it in reverse or in neutral. You can put it in whatever you want to. Just make sure you don't take it out, and kind of note how it goes, what position it's going, which way the bracket is going to be turned or positioned or anything like that. A lot of times I go back and watch my own videos to make sure, and I look and see, how the heck did I have that? So a lot of times I go back and view my own videos just to make sure that I'm doing it the way I'd set it. So I always try to set it. Makes it a whole lot easier when you're putting it back together. More to come. Okay guys, this is the bolt that goes into the shifter. It goes into the top of it. And you may not be able to see it on this one because this camera is starting to wear out, so it doesn't do the autofocus that good anymore. These threads on it are fine threads. Okay, here's the thing. Don't lose this bolt. Because this is a world of time-consuming pain. So take this guy, put it in a Ziploc bag, and throw it in the coffee can with your other bolts. But make sure you segregate it somehow. Put a dab of paint on the top of it, something like that. So we got this out. Gonna mark this thing so we know what it's for. More to come. Okay guys, Now we're going to take these bolts out. You're going to have 1, 2 that are hanging the transmission on here, and then you're going to have one here, a third. So you're going to have 6 that are supporting it. And we're going to have to take this hardware off right here. Go ahead and crack it loose before you take it off completely, because the frame will help hold these things in place while you're wrenching on them. So just to get them loosened up. And for this, I'm using a 1/2 inch socket and a 1/2 inch wrench, and getting ready to take it off. Now this transmission has actually got a little bit of weight to it, especially while you're laying on your back. I've got a piece of that packing foam that that Briggs & Stratton motor came in, just in case I can't bring it down easy. This will catch it, because at the height I've got it at about 1 foot, you drop 50 pounds of aluminum. Yeah, you know, it could break something. So be careful with it. Don't hurt yourself, and try not to break it either. More to come. Okay guys, now we're taking out these bolts. I've sprayed them. These things have been on here for 30 years and they are rusted pretty good. So I've sprayed them and they have sat for about 5 hours, and I have got this one cracked, and we're going to take this off and see how well it does. If they break off, that's fine, I don't care. If they break off and they stay seized up inside the hole, then that's going to be a pain in the butt, because I'm going to have to drill that out. And this is aluminum, those will be steel, and it's just going to be a hard pain in the butt to do. So we're going to crack 1 or 2 of these guys, see how well they do, and then kind of go from there. We're not going to, okay, it's turning pretty good. I've soaked it. We're not going to lock this transaxle. He's going to use this mainly for pulling stuff around his yard and riding on some trails with Mikey. So we're not going to lock this thing, although it might be interesting to crack it up and see what it looks like, just for the heck of it. Never worked on one of these before. This is one of the big ones. So we'll get this thing out, get it cleaned up, and we'll take a look at it. But that's going to be for another video. I'm going to get this thing finished up. I'll stop it right here. It's a good dull spot. And the next video we'll take up, we'll have it sitting up on the table, the cleanup table, and we'll see how it goes. So alright guys, that's it. Y'all go on and make some mayhem. I'm going to take the transmission out and go in the house. Take it easy.